In the London Times of October 1880, a letter appeared under the name of a land agent in County Mayo. The name was Boycott. The record opened there. The year was 1880. 3 successive poor harvests had reduced the tenant farmers of Connaught to destitution. The Irish National Land League, founded the previous year, had begun pressing landowners for fair rent, fixity of tenure, and free sale. Captain Charles Cunningham Boycott, born in Norfolk, England, on 12 March 1832, had served in the 39th Regiment of Foot before retiring to Ireland. Since 1874, he had managed Lough Mask House and approximately 1,500 acres of Lord Erne's estate near Ballinrobe. In 1880, he was 48 years of age. On 22 September 1880, a process server named David Sears, escorted by 17 constables of the Royal Irish Constabulary, attempted to deliver eviction notices to Lord Erne's defaulting tenants near the Neil. Local women met them on the road and turned the party back. The following morning, approximately 100 people gathered at Lough Mask. Boycott's entire farm workforce was warned from the fields. His domestic servants departed. His herders left. Within days, the local postman refused to deliver letters to the house, and the blacksmith of the nearest town declined to shoe his horses. Father John O'Malley of the Neil, as recorded in the Connaught Telegraph, proposed that the community's coordinated withdrawal of all service be designated by the name of the man at its centre. The Connaught Telegraph, under the editorship of James Daly, a co-founder of the Land League, documented each successive stage of the affair. On 14 October 1880, Boycott addressed a formal letter to the editor of The Times, London, setting out his circumstances in full. The letter was published in that edition. James Redpath of the Chicago Inter-Ocean had already employed the term boycott in print on 12 October 1880. By the close of October, the Dublin Daily Express had proposed a public fund to save the stranded harvest at Lough Mask. In Belfast, the newsletter established a Boycott Relief Fund. Subscribers contributed money. Volunteers from the counties of Cavan and Monaghan, the majority of them Orangemen, offered their labour. On 12 November 1880, 57 volunteer labourers arrived at Lough Mask House under armed protection. The escort comprised approximately 1,000 soldiers, infantry, cavalry of the 19th Royal Hussars, and a detachment of the Royal Dragoons. The journalist Bernard Becker, dispatching for the London Daily News, described the column as a great red serpent moving through the County Mayo roads. The Mayo population offered no physical resistance. They assembled at intervals along the road and regarded the column in silence. Becker recorded that a small number of young women along the route made verbal inquiry of the passing labourers. No merchant within a 50-mile radius would supply provisions to the relief force. The soldiers were quartered under canvas in November rain. The crops to be harvested were principally potatoes and turnips, the grain having already been lost. The work was carried out over a period of approximately 15 days. The total estimated cost of the operation was placed at £10,000. The market value of the crops recovered was estimated at £500. Bernard Becker, writing in the Daily News, noted that the potatoes and turnips would probably cost the country no less than a guinea apiece. On 27 November 1880, the volunteers departed Lough Mask. The harvest was in. The military escort withdrew from the estate. On 28 November 1880, Captain Boycott and his wife Annie departed Lough Mask House in an army ambulance wagon. They travelled under escort of a troop of the 19th Royal Hussars as far as Dublin, where detectives accompanied them from the railway station to the Hammond Hotel on Upper Sackville Street. On the 1st of December 1880, they boarded the mailboat at Kingstown Harbour and crossed to Holyhead. In December 1880, Boycott addressed a letter to Prime Minister Gladstone requesting £6,000 in compensation for his financial losses, attributing them to the absence of lawful order in the west of Ireland. No record of payment has been identified. The Bessborough Commission, sitting under the 6th Earl of Bessborough, issued its report in December 1880. It recommended substantial reform of Irish land tenure, including the 3 conditions the Land League had stipulated throughout the dispute. In the spring of 1881, the boycotts sailed for the United States, traveling under the names Mr. and Mrs. Charles Cunningham. They arrived in Amelia County, Virginia in April. In August 1881, they returned to Lough Mask House, which they found undisturbed. By 1886, Boycott had sold his interest in the Lough Mask farm to Bernard Daly of Ballinrobe and returned permanently to England. In England, he accepted the position of land agent to the 14,000-acre estate of Sir Hugh Adair, situated on the Norfolk and Suffolk boundary. He held that post until his death. Charles Cunningham Boycott died on 19 June 1897 at the age of 65. The date coincided with Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee. By the year of his death, the term derived from his name had entered French, Dutch, Russian, and Polish, among other European languages. James Redpath's printed dispatch of 12 October 1880 is cited by scholars as among the earliest recorded uses. The letter of October 1880 is held in the archive. The dispatches of Bernard Becker abound in the files of the Daily News. The Connaught Telegraph set it all in type. What the record preserves is a name that passed from one man's circumstances into general use and remained there.